I just did an 8-minute intro and my microphone was dead the whole time. So hi, I'm Ashley if you're new here, and if you do recognize me, you probably know me from doing YouTube like 2 years ago. She's back. So 2 years ago I kind of dropped off the face of the earth because I started to do YouTube and realized that it was actually really difficult. It was a lot on my plate, and considering that I still work full-time and I had a baby at the time who's now 3. So it was just too much. It was too much for me, and I felt like I was trying really hard and it just was not coming off organically. Things just recently changed again. So suddenly I am making time for it because I'm in love with it, and I always have been. I had the get up and go, like, you have to get up and you have to start doing this today. And as somebody with really strong faith, I was like, there has to be a reason for this. There has to be a reason that I'm being pushed to go back into this. There has to be a reason that I'm being like compelled to be a part of this community again. And I've been thinking about it a lot and praying about it, and nothing has slowed me down, which has been interesting. Need to be like a big sister for a lot of girls out here. So I think like everybody else in the last couple years since the shutdown of the world and whatnot, we all became obsessed with TikTok, and TikTok has taken off. And now you have like these absolute legendary superstars like Alex Earl, who isn't obsessed with her, who doesn't live vicariously through her. She's a really good example out of most people on TikTok that girls should be following. The fact that she's real, that she's messy, you know, that she's willing to make fun of herself. That speaks volumes to me. That's my personality 100%. And no, I'm not comparing myself to Alex Earl. I think nowadays that girls see that what's on social media is not always real. And I know you guys have heard that. I know girls out there watching, I know you know that, but it's still affecting you. It's still hurting you. This is where you come for real talk. We're gonna talk about how you gain confidence, walk into a room, you own it, and drink coffee with me. We're gonna do makeup, that you stay for the journey, and there may or may not be some Amazon hauls because who does not love this crop top? We're just gonna jump into it, okay? One of the reasons I think that I wanted to start doing this is because I'm in a position in my job where I get to move these thumb holes back, to mentor sort of younger girls, and there's guys in the crew too, but the girls I especially take to heart the most. They're the sweetest, and I just see myself in them, right? Like I remember when I was a shy girl, and I spent most of my childhood getting bullied. So literally from like, I think the first time I got bullied I was like 8 or 9. I remember I was coming up on 5th grade, and it continued until I was about 15. Happened, of course, right? And I remember vividly spending my days doing everything that I could to get my bullies to like me. I spent all those years trying to be something that I wasn't. I was a part of a really amazing thing just a few months ago with a huge motivational speaker. I guess I can say his name, it doesn't matter. His name is Mark Marrow, and I was very, very blessed to even be in his company, and had to follow him around at various high schools where he went and did his speeches. And if you're interested, I'm not going to take away credit for him. If you're interested in like motivational wise and like a story that you're literally going to change, it's going to change your life. And him speak to these kids was amazing. Like I cried every time he told the same story. Really resonated with me was when afterwards, when he was done, he in the school afforded the children, like children I say, I'm talking like it was high schoolers. I think there was a couple middle schoolers, but it was mostly high schoolers. And they were afforded the opportunity to come up and speak with him directly, and they got to share their stories about how they're being bullied and how they don't have confidence. I hate to say it, but when I was listening to it, I was like, listening to some of these complaints, I'm like, oh my God, I see myself. And what I was learning from these kids who were so brave to share their story, and they weren't speaking out loud or anything, they just go up and they speak privately, you know, but kind of amongst their friends. Like I wouldn't have had the balls to do that. They're what's causing them stress. And granted, quite a few of them have like home stressors and stuff, like they feel like they're left out of their family, or their parents don't make enough time for them, like whatever it might be. But a lot of it came back down to social media and how it's affecting their confidence. And I was so impressed by these kids who were able to admit that, like, look, social media is killing me, but it's a part of life. How do we get around it? And I was so inspired back then to get on social media and share my story with people. And I want to find kids like that. I want to be the person that's like, you don't have to live like that. Social media is fake. The pressure that's on you is fake. Okay? And I see kids every day that are like, well, this is just part of our lives now. We have to adjust to it. No, you don't. Okay to go to the beat of your own drum. And it took me a really, really long time to see that, but I made it happen. How did I learn to be confident? I'm gonna do something different today. I'm gonna push myself. I want to be uncomfortable. I remember the moment that I signed up to compete. I had butterflies, but I also wanted to pass out. And the worst part was getting on social media and looking at the girls who were competing. And I'm like, there's literally no way I can do this. And I started comparing myself, and I was worried about how did they get confident. And I could see myself going back into my old ways. And you can't do that. We want the butterflies in our stomachs. But the whole point of life and to be successful right there is that you got yourself uncomfortable. And it's scary in the moment, but it has its incredible payoffs. Everyone is going to like me. Not everyone is going to wish that I was successful. And trust me, for example, when I was going through that, I was called the dirtiest of dirty names. And it was by coworkers. So a lot of people wonder, how do you get confident? Really being back on TikTok and trying to build a presence there, I see that it's a very competitive market, if you will. And girls are constantly comparing themselves to everyone on the internet. Being in a job where I see mental health is a crisis. I remember the days where I used to compare myself to everyone around me. Just can't do that. It's really that simple. Really, my personal way that I found confidence was when I became a bikini competitor, and simply with time, doing it wrong, failing, struggling, trial and erring, that's part of gaining your confidence. So how do you get there? Building self-confidence is recognizing your self-worth. Know what you have to offer. And I know some of you are probably like, well, I don't have anything to offer. I'm not talented. Neither am I. I don't have anything to offer. I'm not talented, or I'm too young. I don't have a skill level yet. I haven't been to college. There be a role model. And that's why I'm turning to YouTube. That's why I said at the very beginning, I woke up this morning and I was like, you have to get out there and you have to talk about this. So here we are with coffee in hand. Don't beat yourself up if you don't immediately recognize that you don't think you have a talent. You don't have to have a talent. I have no talent. I'm not a singer. I am not a dancer. I'm certainly not a makeup professional. I make pretty good coffee. I know you've heard this time and time again, just like I have, but it really does bear mentioning. Not everyone is gonna like you, no matter what. You can be Megan Fox and be perfect and have all that crazy lifestyle going on in movies and millions of dollars and perfect body, etc. Yes, I know it's enhanced, but you get my point. People still roast her about her thumbs. Like, I think she's gorgeous. And you're worried about her thumbs? You're worrying about who she's dating? Not everyone is going to vibe with what Megan has to offer. Same thing with Alex Earl. She's incredible. She's dominating social media. And to be honest with you, I don't even think I haven't heard anyone really complain about her at all. But I'm sure there's someone out there who doesn't get the hype. If you start going out and you're venturing and you're trying to break out of that bubble that you can confined yourself into, and isolated yourself and said, I don't want to try that. I'm too nervous. I'm too shy. It's okay. Go out, fail, get laughed at, get made fun of, and say, you know what? Yeah, I totally screwed that up. Who cares? Because even if you do it perfectly, even if you walk into the sport that you want to try and you do better than everyone there on the team, just naturally, that happens, believe it or not. The person who thought they were the best isn't going to like you. They're not going to support you. And that's just the nature of life, okay? Not everyone is going to like you. Stop making yourself sick and overspending because you want to wear what somebody else wears, or because you're trying to be something that you're not, because you're comparing yourself to other people who might be in a different spot in their life. I have a list of people who don't like me, okay? And I'm sure people are going to roast me for my TikToks, which I know they have. I've had hate comments on my Instagram from people that I know. You know, and they won't call it hate comments, but they're not being nice. It's like a backhanded compliment. I see you. I see those people. okay? It doesn't stop me. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect how much my family and my friends, my real friends, care about me, right? So move on with it. Go out there, try, fall on your face, but get back up, okay? Lastly, number 3, you have to get uncomfortable. If you're not getting uncomfortable, if you're not scared, kind of mixed in with rule number 2, if you're not scared, if you're not challenging yourself, then it's never going to mean anything to you when you succeed. Just like I was talking about when I became a bikini competitor, I said I started competing or started training in January, and then I got all the way to August is where I was on my second show by then. And my first show, I got 4th place out of like 12. And then in August at Worlds, I got 1st place. And I know this video isn't about being a bikini competitor or anything, but it was the fact that I live in Florida and I had to fly to Las Vegas. I've never flown a day in my life. I was sick to my stomach at the thought. I was regretting the fact that I even said yes, that I even signed up for this, only because my coach was just pushing me, but because she knew I was capable of it. She knew it. It was her job, yes, but she was a friend of mine at the time and was pushing me and supporting me. It was like, you need to do this. You are on the route to bigger, better things. And I was willing to stay at home and miss out on this opportunity and watch it from afar on the internet and not participate, all because I was scared. This is Worlds, okay? I cannot stress. There are beautiful women from all across the entire world. Every country you can think of were there. And standing in line to go out on stage in a bikini after months and months of work, when I was there, reality hit and I knew, what am I doing here? How did I get here? What are you thinking? You don't look like this. I was horrified. But I went out there and I knew this is my opportunity. I flew out here knowing my fears, knowing how much I doubted myself. I walked out there, I pranced around on stage, and hopefully I'll be able to insert some pictures. Not the video though, I wish I could get the video, but that's a different story. But the pictures that are out there, I look at them and I see how confident I was. I see all that fear was put aside. And I ended up winning. I got 1st place in this show. Okay, my first Worlds, I got my 1st place spot. I got my pro card. That was it for me. And I broke down. And I remember the announcer saying, wow, what a reaction. And in the back of my mind, I was like, oh God, am I overreacting? And I was like, you know what? No, there is no overreacting for me, because nobody there knew, with the exception of a couple, my family and my best friend who flew out with me. They knew, maybe even a little bit. I don't even know if they knew to the extent, but the fear, the challenges that I had overcome, that I was doing to myself, that I was putting in my own head, I overcame them to achieve a goal that I wanted. And at that moment, confidence was born for me. I was like, no one's taking this away from me. I officially know what I'm capable of. And of course, do we have days where we're just, insecure, or, your hair is not right, or you're just not feeling good? Those days happen. But at the end of the day, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm capable of. I know that people aren't going to like me. I do know my self-worth, and I know that I make myself uncomfortable so that I can continue challenging myself. And that's all that I'm really asking for you guys to do. Get off social media, or even if you're on social media, try to look at it as, this is fake, or this isn't real. And yeah, there's beautiful people out there by nature. Absolutely. That's going to happen. But that doesn't mean that you are any less. It's 100% about what is on the inside. And if you're letting your exterior be the only thing that you're focusing on, then you are missing out on giving people what they really, really deserve. It's natural for us to want to know people from the inside. If you enjoyed this video and you learned anything, please subscribe below. Follow me on TikTok. I'll have it down below as well. Let me know what else you want to see and what other things you might want me to talk about. I can elaborate on my bikini stories, my bikini competition stories, and the challenges within that and how you can overcome them if you're ever interested in competing. But thank you all for watching. I really hope this is going to be a fun journey. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe.